A medical equipment industry manufactures X-ray machines. The unit cost C in dollars depends on the number of machines made. So if X machines are made, then the unit cost is modeled by the function C of X is equal to 0.4x squared minus 96x plus 16,541. Now, what is the minimum unit cost? So notice here that the unit cost is modeled by a quadratic equation. So let's begin by recalling what we know about quadratic functions. Voila! So given the quadratic equation, y is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. If that leading coefficient a is greater than 0, we know that this implies that the parabola is concave up, which then lets us know that the vertex of this parabola is a minimum point. So we need to find the vertex here. So to begin, again, we are given the cost function that is modeled by the quadratic equation 0.4x squared minus 96x plus 16,541. So what are the coefficients? Well, our coefficient A is 0.4, which we see is greater than 0. Woohoo! We also have a B coefficient, minus 96. And last but not least, we have a C coefficient, which is 16,541. So we want to use these coefficients with our vertex formula above to find the minimum point, that y value. So here we go. We need to find the x-coordinate first. So the x-coordinate of our vertex, again, is defined as x is equal to negative b, all divided by 2a. So plugging in these coefficients, I have minus a minus 96, all divided by 2 times 0.4. And so we can see here a negative times a negative produces a positive value. So this is equal to 96 divided by 0.8. Now, let's suppose that your instructor does not allow you to use calculators. What do? Well, I see this decimal in the denominator, and I want to get rid of it. It's always nicer to work with whole numbers than fractions or decimals. So what we're going to do is multiply the denominator here by 10 to move that decimal place over. Now, whatever you do to the bottom, you also must do to the top. So multiplying the numerator and denominator by 10, we are now left with 960 divided by 8. And we can step to the side, do our scratch work out. We have 960 divided by 8. And we know that 8 goes into 9 one time. So 9 minus 8 leaves us with 1. Bring down that 6. 8 goes into 16 two times. 2 times 8 is 16. So 16 minus 16 is 0. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 0 times. So we're all done. And we can say that therefore, x is equal to 120 X-ray machines. Now, this is not our final answer. What this is telling us is that 120 X-ray machines yields a minimum cost. So, in order to find that minimum cost, we want to take this x-coordinate and substitute it back into the cost function. So here we go. The cost function, C at 120 X-ray machines, is going to be equal to 0.4 times 120 squared minus 96 times 120 plus 16,541. Whew. So we're going to continue here, assuming that we are not allowed to use calculators and that all we can use is our beautiful brains. So, a little bit of fun math here. Let's think about 120 squared. So I'm going to ignore the zeros for now, do my scratch work down here, and think I'm multiplying 12 times 12. So we know 12 times 12 is 144. Now if we add those ghost zeros in, all we need to do is add those 2 zeros at the end of our product. Oops, we did it! Woohoo! So this is going to be equal to 0.4 times 14,400 minus, now again, we got to do this product out by hand. So I'm actually just going to think about multiplying 96 times 12, and then we'll add that ghost zero in after. So I have 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 is 19. Then we have 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 9 is 9. So we have 2 plus nothing is 2, 9 plus 6 is 15. So 1 plus 9 is 10, plus this extra 1 is 11. Now don't forget to add that ghost zero in, and we want to add that 0 to the end of our product below. So this is going to be minus 11,520 plus 16,541. Beautiful! So next order of business here, we need to find the product 0.4 times 14,400. So I'm going to leave this as it is, 0.4 times 14,400. So we have 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17, and then 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Now because we have this decimal, we need to add the decimal to our expression below. So that product, 0.4 times 14,400, leaves us with 5,760. Beautiful. Now we have 2 like terms left. So let's do that addition now. So we have 16,541. So it's subtraction. 16,541 minus 11,520. So 1 minus 0 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 1 is 5. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So those 2 terms combine to a positive 5,021. Beautiful. Last but not least, we need to combine these last 2 terms. So let's take this subtraction that we just found below and simply add 5,760. So 1 plus 0 is 1, 2 plus 6 is 8, 0 plus 7 is 7, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So this leaves us with a beautiful final answer of 10,781. So what is this telling us? Well, this is allowing us to conclude that, therefore, producing or manufacturing 120 X-ray machines yields a minimum cost. So it yields a minimum cost of $10,781. And so this is our beautiful final answer.